Hey guys, we're gonna take a look at how to play Loggerhead, because she is also part of this current Moonbeam Guardian banner that features Liang Yue. So let's take a look at her. The first thing you have to be aware of is that she will have a great synergy and in fact is only really playable together with the upcoming character Noir that will get a banner that features her on May 8th. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. No, I'm just kidding. So the first thing that you have to know is that you have to gain stacks of Clearhead, and how you obtain them is you get one stack just at the end of every single round. Plus, more importantly, for each negative status applied when allied characters actively cast incantations. For every single negative status applied by your allies actively, you gain one stack of Clearhead. Cool. Now that we figured that out, we're gonna have to apply Memory Replay. And whenever this Memory Replay buff is activated, all of your allies that are in this Memory Replay recover HP based on how many Clearhead stacks you have. There's one note, that these Clearhead stacks do not get consumed when Memory Replay is activated, but they simply last for 2 rounds. They stay forever. They cannot be deducted, but you will all lose them all just after 2 rounds. That's how that works. So now we have to figure out how do we apply Memory Replay onto our allies. And we do that by using Loggerhead's incantation number 1, which is called Give It a Try. It's a counter incantation, and yeah, keep in mind, you use this incantation onto your allies. And what it does is, it grants Memory Replay to the target and 1 unit behind the target for 2 rounds. That's how you apply it. Memory Replay, by the way, gives the characters that it is applied to damage reduction plus 15%. And after these characters are attacked, Memory Replay is activated and it applies 1 random buff to the attacker, right? And remember, it triggers all of your Clearheads and therefore heals all of your characters that have Memory Replay on them. Okay, and that's already all you have to know. You have to, again, let's go over this real quick. Your ally characters, they have to apply negative statuses to the enemies by actively casting incantations, right? No extra actions or something like that. Actively casting incantation. And for each debuff they apply, you get a stack of Clearhead. And all your stacks of Clearhead are helping you to increase the amount of heal that your allies with Memory Replay on them receive. That's how that goes. That's all you have to know. For completion's sake, let's take a look at his other incantations and his ultimate. So his incantation number 2 is called Take a Look, and that's a debuff incantation. It applies to 1 enemy target. It deals damage and it applies 2 random debuffs. By the way, when I say it applies debuffs, I'm only talking about 3, and that is Rigidity, as I call it, that is Poison and Burn. And his ultimate, called Indiscriminate Viewing, is doing the exact same thing. It deals damage to all enemies though, and it applies 2 random debuffs to the target. Those are the exact same debuffs that Noir and AnAnLee also apply, so this is very, very great synergy here. And that's why you should play Loggerhead together with AnAnLee and Noir. And that's all about it already. That's all you have to know. That is very, very simple. It's just a 5-star, so yeah, only the 6 stars is where things get a little bit more complicated than that. But that's about it, guys. Since I mentioned AnAnLee a lot, let's take a look at her as well, real quick. First of all, her insight makes it so that she switches between 2 effects. One is called Break Time and the other is called Exorcism Time. So turn 1 you're in Break Time, turn 2 you're in Exorcism Time, turn 3 Break Time, and so on and so forth, right? Break time makes it so that your entire team takes less damage, and exorcism time makes it so that your entire team deals more damage. Now we have to take a look at her euphoria already, because this is where things get interesting. Her tier 1 euphoria, just what you have to take away here is that the ally in front of AnAnLee gets their rightmost incantation ranked up. So you always want to make sure that your main DPS, which has to be Noir, is always in front of AnAnLee. Good. Her tier 2 euphoria is where things get really interesting, because the exorcism time does not only get a buff, but there's more. Let's break it down. After attacking, randomly applies one of the following effects to the target. One debuff to the target. Either rigidity, poison, or burn. We already saw the same thing with Loggerhead, and we will see the same thing with Noir as well. That's why they synergize so well together. But more here, a really important part is that Lily Nectar now additionally grants allies the exorcism time effect. That means whenever you use her incantation 1, which is called Lily Nectar, they will not only deal more damage and take less damage, but they now will also, whenever they use an incantation that deals damage, apply one of those debuffs to the enemy. That is absolutely amazing, and that is why AnAnLee is a must pair with Noir. That is the support that Noir wants and dreams of. Yeah, let's continue with the tier 3 euphoria. That makes it so that exorcism time, when the enemy has a debuff on them, the damage dealt is increased by a further 15%. And yeah, the same thing with break time. If the enemies have debuffs on them, you take even less damage. So we are now talking about a damage dealt plus 45% for the entire team, plus they whoever attacks and deals damage applies debuffs. Furthermore though, her ultimate now empowers incantations by 2 stages instead of just 1. And that's about it right here. For every enemy with negative status, you grant 1 ally empower for 2 rounds, right? Point is, she empowers the incantations. She ranks up your ally's incantation, which increases the damage even further, on top of the 45% damage dealt buff that they would have anyways. And that's about it. That's all you have to know about AnAnLee. But for completion's sake, let's take a look at her other incantation and at her ultimate. So incantation number 2 is called Taoist Rune, and it simply deals damage. But when you rank this incantation up to rank 3, it will apply daze for 1 round to 1 target, and daze is simply a stun, and that means that 1 target for 1 round cannot act. Amazing, right? Remember, like, she ranks up incantations for her team and the incantations for herself, so getting this actually to rank 3 is not that big of a deal. So this is amazing as well. Then her ultimate deals damage to all enemies and ranks up incantations for the caster, for her, right? So there you go. You rank up your incantations from your inside, and by using your ultimate, which makes it so that getting this ranked up to apply the stun is not a big deal. You could also, of course, you don't have to upgrade the Taoist Rune to apply the stun. You could also level up the Lily Nectar to apply even more damage dealt and damage taken reduction to your entire team. And that's about it, right? Again, emphasis on what makes this euphoria and AnAnLee so amazing for Noir is the fact that you can play Noir and AnAnLee, and your other 2 teammates, it doesn't really matter what you put into these last 2 slots for team building, because no matter who you put there, they will apply debuffs to the enemy team as well, thanks to AnAnLee granting them this ability. That is absolutely amazing. Of course, you can do mid-maxing, right, with the other 2 team members that you would put in. Like 6, the character 6 would be a great example because additional debuffs. Sotheby would be a great healer for this team because additional stacks of poison, and so on and so forth. But the point is, play Noir and AnAnLee together and then go from there. And that's all you have to know about AnAnLee. One more thing I can mention is that her portraits don't matter at all, because she is not here to deal damage. She is just here to make your entire team deal more damage and apply debuffs. The damage dealing part, that belongs to Noir, so her portraits are completely useless anyways. Don't even worry about them. Just pull one time for AnAnLee, obtain her one time from the Euphoria banner. Ripples on the Water is what it's called. Or if you already have AnAnLee, just level up her Euphoria if you plan to pull for Noir, and that's gonna be it. You're gonna have a fantastic foundation to build a team around it. And that's about it, guys. I hope that was informative and fun. If you like Reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.